just try not to, just to be sure, to be safe. Don't try. 14 people. Try to not to talk now. I'm gonna leave you alone, and as soon as I leave it, you're gonna put it whatever on mirror or whatever you do. Get rid of the mirror or whatever, and then click on Rico Show. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna. Sorry, I'm ready. Yeah.
So do it right now. Hello, everybody.
Hello, folks.
It's the Rico Show.
Hello. Hola.
Hope you're all. Oh, you know what, dude? we gotta get the chats.
Oh, yeah. Feliz cumpleaños and good morgen Sie and konnichiwa.
Hello, everybody. Hello, folks. Okay. There's the chats. Can you read those?
Those? Yeah.
Okay. So we hear a little bit of delay.
That's cool.
We're still not professionals at this yet. But hey, guys, thank you for joining us. We had a lot of requests. I've had people ask me about what is the difference between a stretch and a smear. Some people call it a swipe, right? Some people say a swipe, which actually is different.
Yeah.
But it's okay. A smear is really what it's called. And what is the difference between the two? So what we're going to do here is today I'm going to do the demo and explain to you what the difference is. So we'll get started here. That's okay, Rico.
Oh, yeah?
Hey, and Joe R. Hey, dude, I'm getting to know you. I've listened to you. I'm thinking about your advice. Thank you for your advice. You contacted me. Just still trying to get organized. And that's it. Let me see. Say hello. Welcome, one-on-one.
Dave Nethery says, hello, chappies.
Hello, chap.
And Joe R. says hi. And Johansson says, hello, folks.
Hello.
K Animations, hey, over from DC.
Hey, Keith.
He says, hey.
How's it going, Keith?
And
Okay.
let's see. Abdo says hi, and Dave Nethery says okay.
Dave,
Which is
he's keeping it cool.
acknowledgement that if you guys can hear us and see us, please let me know in the chat. So
Yeah.
while Wayne's doing the demo, I'm going to be monitoring the.
Okay. So what we got here is we got our first. We'll go extreme. Our first extreme drawing, and now I'm going to draw the next extreme. We can call it a key if we want, but a lot of people get confused. So here's the next main drawing, and this character.
Hey, is this in TV Paint?
Yes, we're working in TV Paint
My
here.
man.
TV Paint 11. TV Paint 11, and we got this sort of like wolf dog character. Just a generic character. And
We're coming through loud and clear, by the way.
oh, very good,
Yeah,
very good.
I'm getting
Glad to
comments
hear
here. Joe Arce is glad to help.
that. Oh, yes, thank you, Joe. I don't. Let's see.
Thank you for letting us know that we're coming through loud and clear.
A little bit too large there. See, this is where I do work on these extremes, these main drawings, try to get the volume correct. We'll have them come here. And all he's going to do is a take. He's just going to look over, screen right.
Just as a quick side note, to let you guys know, I brought in something for show and tell today at the end of the demo, so stick around for that.
Oh, good.
Johansson says, thank you for coming clean on us, too.
Coming clean?
I'm not quite sure what that means.
I'm not sure either.
Coming clean, doesn't that mean telling the truth? Maybe that's it.
Oh, yeah, we try. Or maybe I did a video
On doing clean drawing?
on doing clean ups.
Ah, okay.
Maybe that's what
That could be it, yeah. So yeah, just as a recap, what what Wayne is doing is he's going to show you the difference between what a smear is in animation and what a stretch is, because you said there was some kind of confusion with some folks. Right?
Yeah, some people are confused because they think that a smear is the same thing as a stretch, and there is a big difference. A smear drawing is a cheat drawing in a sense. It's sort of like if you watch film footage, and if you watch an athlete or a pitcher who's pitching the baseball, they go up into the anticipation, and then when they throw it in that frame of film, especially back in Rico and mine's day with Super 8, it would be blurred. It'd be blurred, and that turned into what they called a smear drawing. And then they took that in animation and realized that that works really well for especially cartoony type of animation. And this demo is going to explain it to you. So here we got our character here, and like I said, just basic little character. And he's going to be going from here to there. Just like that.
Johansson asks, like motion in comics, kind
I don't watch that many, like,
of? I think comic books.
comic books.
Like motion in comic books, I guess they do that sometimes. They have kind of a blur or something.
Yeah, it is. Sort of like that. There are many ways to do it. You can do it with lines. If I put in lines like that, which I'm not going to do, I'm going to show you the basic smear. You can do it with trails of the character parts of the character and different elements that will trail off and leave the path of action. But this one we're going to do a pure smear. And you'll see.
And the reason why they call it a smear is because it, on cells, back in the day when they used cells, it looked like they smeared the paint across the cell. So I guess that's where the term came from. It's like smearing color across the frame.
Yes, it is an illusion of where they do smear the shape. And then there's something else called a dry brush, but we'll do that some other time. Okay, so here we got our two main drawings. What I'm going to do is put in an anticipation drawing real quick here, and I'm just going to have them come forward slightly from here, change shape. I'll have his head go down.
I'm going to answer Abdo's question. He asks,
Oh, go ahead.
what's the difference between a smear and multiple limbs? Well, a smear is usually just like one big, huge color that moves across the screen in one frame. And the multiple limbs is like, what he's talking about is like kind of in the Roadrunner and Coyote cartoons where they have multiple, images on one drawing of like his legs if he's scrambling or something like that. Or
exactly.
Or like trailing off images that are multiple images.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said, let's say there's an arm. This arm comes out like so, and I'll do this real loose, and the arm just released a baseball. As it comes through right there, here's one way you could have, what would you call this, Rico? Just the
It's like an after image.
Yeah, multiple images within that frame. And we did this, Mike and I did this a lot on a TV show called The Mighty Bee. That's what the director wanted. Yeah. And you would have these multiple images coming in like so, the arm coming through like so. I hope that makes sense. And here's the arm, and it comes through, and that's one way to do it, but that is not a smear.
Right, that's the multiple image, multiple limb thing.
Yeah.
What the purpose of that is what it's trying to simulate is a bunch of drawings represented in one image.
Right.
So you can get the feeling of a bunch of drawings, but it's only one frame, which is very helpful. And when you have a super fast action,
exactly,
it gives a nice illusion.
And it works as good as a smear.
Yeah, it's just a different approach.
It's just a different one. Yeah, that's all it is.
Different ways to skin a cat in this medium.
Yeah.
And Wayne's going to show you the.
If you guys look in The Illusion of Life, there's a couple pages with Pluto where he's scrambling. You remember that?
Oh, yeah, he's running around.
Yeah.
Is that a Norm Ferguson thing?
You know what? Let me pull the book out. Hold on, you guys.
Oh, he's got it right here.
I got everything right here.
Ha ha. Well, that's a thick book, isn't it? It's as heavy and thick as a dictionary.
Yes, but it's got everything in it.
It's a great book. The animation section in particular is very helpful if you guys have that book, or you can. There's actually a PDF of it online somewhere. If you search for a PDF of The Illusion of Life, you can see the pages.
Rico, tell me if this is in. Look at that one. Can you see?
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, there's one example of effects where.
Those are weasels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Weasel comes in, and is that the last frame right there?
No.
Oh, sorry.
You gotta go to your left or right? Your left.
Oh, my
your
left.
Right. Your right.
My right.
If you go to your right over here, then you'll see the end. But.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
No, that's the cat in the bottom. It's hard to see.
It is hard. It is hard to see.
But they can see these already.
Yeah.
That came through.
So that's one way of doing it, and there's one of. God, I would think it would be in the same section, but I can't seem to find it.
Thanks, Dave. Dave answered a question on here for one of the other participants.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. You guys just look in.
Oh, he wants to know what page that is.
Oh, here we go. Here's a great example. This is Pluto, and I'm going to find a real good image, and I'll bring it in tight. Tell me if you can see that, Rico.
All right. Yeah, that's real close. Wow.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go, guys. There's multiple images within one drawing, and it's following an arc, and that's one way you can do it. There are, you'll have directors.
Let me see what page that is.
That page is 149. But it changes, this is the original book, so it changes with the different...
Yeah, there's
times.
different issues of the book, so it's on a different page.
But what that does is, that's one way to do it, but that is not a smear. Some directors, they don't like that technique. They'll ask you to do the smear technique or other techniques.
You said page 149?
That's what it was.
Oh, okay.
But that's an old one.
In that old issue of that book, of that publication, it's page 149.
Yeah. Wink, wink.
So you're doing the anticipation now?
Yeah. So this is just the antic right here. I don't want to get too caught up in that, but right here, everything's going to drag and follow through.
Nice volumes, Rico.
Thanks, Rico.
You're welcome.
There it
He
is.
found it on the...
Oh, they did find
Yeah,
it?
he says his book is old as well, so I guess the pages correspond.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so then we got this. We'll just make the neck. I don't want to get too caught up in all that. Then he's going to come over there. So he comes down, put that chin down there, and then this is the main part. So how does he go from that drawing? I'm going to tone those down. How does he go from the antic to this one? And we'll first do a stretch. I'll show you how you do a stretch. And then after that, what we're going to do is show you the smear. And now you're going to really understand the difference.
Because that's a big gap to cover, so you have to have some kind of distortion, whether it's a stretch or a smear, yeah.
Right. So, with that in mind... So he's going to be coming around here, and what I say, the stretch is what I'm.
The stretch first, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you guys-
So I'm going to put a drawing. I'm going to have him come down, follow arc like this. I'll put it somewhere in here. Have the head leading a little bit.
Just as a side note, if you guys want to check out a really good example of smears and stretches as well, but mostly smears, check out the Dover Boys. It's a animated short by Chuck Jones, and he uses it all over the place in that cartoon. So
Oh yeah, you can find it also. You'll find Tex Avery. You'll find it everywhere.
oh yeah, it's used a lot. Yeah.
It is really used with cartoony stuff, I'd say, for the most part. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm keeping the volumes the same. But what I'm doing is I'm stretching it. I'm stretching the muzzle. Volume's the same, I'm going to stretch it a little more. But if this was a water balloon and it was being pulled and squashed and all that, it would hold the same volume. So what that means is I'm not doing a cheat on it. what I'm doing is I'm just it's a what they call a plastic kind of quality, a rubber sort of quality. So I'm keeping all the volumes really pretty much the same, except if this was a ball and it stretches, it's got the same amount of volume inside of that ball as it's stretching. So that is the big difference of this stretch.
Yeah, another term that might help people understand is it's the same mass overall.
Right.
The mass and volume is kind of the same thing. So
exactly.
If that helps anybody. It's a believable mass or volume.
Yeah, you're being more literal about the volumes and all that sort of.
Thanks, Dave, for putting up the place where to find The Illusion of Life if people need copies of that.
And like I always say, you gotta keep flipping your drawings and see where you can adjust it. I'm gonna drag that nose back a little bit further. Just give it a little more stretch in there, the volume of it pulling, dragging.
Yeah, flipping is essential. It's like your miniature pencil test as you're working.
I think if you don't flip, you're not gonna get it's not gonna work.
Yeah, you gotta visualize with the flipping, so
yeah.
To check it all the time.
And then he comes up into this pose right there. Comes up in there and basically.
Hey, this is a compliment. This kind of reminds me of that wolf from Sword in the Stone that John Lounsbury did.
That is a compliment. Thank you, Dave.
You're welcome.
Okay, so he goes through there. Now watch, you guys. I'm going to just quickly move this up to give myself a little bit more room. I'll hold that just to start off for 10 frames.
You just moved the whole drawing and shifted it into a different position?
No.
Oh.
No. I just moved it where I can see the timeline.
Oh, I see.
Now it's going to go by very quickly. Hold on, it's for some reason. There it is. Now I can see it all. I'll hold that for 12. Okay. Just watch this. Gonna go by really quickly. I'm gonna put in a frame afterwards just to give it a space. 10. No in-betweens. Just strictly the keys and breakdowns.
Woo!
Okay.
That is fast.
So there we can see it. Now it's going by quickly. It works. It does work. No in-betweens. If we get time, we'll put that in later. But the thing to remember is that this is our stretch drawing. How far you want to stretch it, that's up to the animator. As long as you're keeping the volumes correct and the, what'd you call it, masses?
The mass of
the mass of it.
Overall
as long
mass,
as you're
yeah.
keeping those masses correct, you could stretch it whatever you want. I could have stretched it way out here. I could put in another drawing to stretch it. But now, let's move on over and let me do a demo for you for what a smear is.
AWAB, is that a regular student of yours?
Yeah, action lines are helpful with it. Yeah.
He says action lines are helpful at times for the motion to be sold. I use them for comics and practice, but should they be used in stretches and smears? I think that's a personal preference. You can put them in or you can leave them out. It's all your own choice.
Yeah. You can use them. Definitely, you can use them. The big thing is to experiment. I just experiment and try it out, especially, guys, because you got this digital software you can use. Doesn't matter what software you're using, whatever you prefer, but you have that and you can see immediately what the different effects are going to be like. Let me see here.
Yeah, exploring stuff and trying different things when you're animating is a must, I think, because that's how you figure out what does and does not work for any particular scene that you're doing and any effect that you're trying to achieve.
Let me come in here, dude.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Let me copy. Okay. All right. So now we're going to, if I can find there it is. Okay, now we're going to put the smear in. So I'm going to turn this level off for now. We're going to come up here. And this is going to be the drawing that I change. This one. Earlier, on the earlier version, this was a stretch. Now we're going to do smear.
Smears are a lot of fun.
Yes, smears are fun.
Just pure fun in animation.
Yes. So this isn't a steadfast rule, but just start off with, I'm just going to start off with the edge of the anticipation. I'm going to start off there. He's going to come up here. And the whole shape is going to be a cheat. So we got him there, and coming off there, this whole nose, the shape of it, I'm going to bring all the way through here. And what I should do, and I will do, I'm going to color in the nose. And there, we're starting to get a feel for that big smear. And they are known as a cheat, but it, like I was saying earlier, with like with pictures and just real fast actions, I think this is where they came up with it.
Trying to emulate live action blurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the film, when it gets exposed, it's only the shutter is only open for a certain speed, and if something's really fast, it comes across as a blur. It's so fast that the shutter can't capture it and isolate it enough, so it gets blurred. Ooh, wow! AWAB has a really good analogy of what a smear is like. He says it's like blowing a bubble with one of those big bubble wands, in the yard.
Very good. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Great.
That is a good analogy.
Yeah. Yeah, you start with one shape that smears and then forms into another shape.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it's like.
Definitely. Yeah, because they don't hold their volume. They
Yeah, this is just it's more of a graphic thing.
So let me go back in here. This will make it, because smears do also read better once they're in color.
Yeah.
Because you see,
it actually slows it down when you put it in color. If you look at the pencil test and you watch a smear, it looks really zippy, but when you color it in, it actually slows it down because it's a large filled-in area that your eye can perceive easier, and it slows it down because it's all, it becomes more of an object rather than a line work thing.
Yeah, all animation slows down, even smear or no smear.
Yep, true.
When you put it in color. Okay, let me just...
Well, that's good always to keep that in mind, by the way. That when things go to color, it does slow down. Just like Rico said. Meh.
Look
Look at that nose.
at that nose. Ew, horrible.
Fun.
Horrible eye. And it's just... How do I know if it's going to... Oh, also, smears, I believe they should always be done on 1s. But I have seen them done on 2s.
Yeah, I agree. It's really meant for 1s, which means 1 exposure per frame.
Yes.
And if it's 2s, it's 2 exposures per frame or per drawing. And that makes it stick too much. It isolates it too long if it's on 2s. That's what
See, so
happens.
there we go. There we got a smear. Forgot to color in. Oops. All right, hold on. And I had colored in, because I'm insane, I don't want it. I'm going to do it with the same.
And even though Wayne's doing this with just a head, you can do it with an entire body if you want. There's
Plenty
of examples of that, like in that Chuck Jones cartoon.
Yeah.
They smear everything. All kinds of stuff. Hands, feet, heads, bodies, everything. Even vehicles, I think, get smeared in that one.
Well, you remember on Cats Don't Dance, I had a scene where these crew members on the set had to come in and put tusk on the elephant.
Oh, yeah.
And when I did it with them running in, putting it in, anticipating running out. And the Mark said, "Oh no, we don't want that." And I didn't know what he meant. It was a really great learning experience, because what he meant was I could get the characters in there in 4 frames and out in 2 frames. And they put on these tusks onto an elephant. So, okay, let's take a look here at this smear. And there, you can see that works. And that's the big difference between the smear and, let me turn that off, come back down here, and the stretch. There's the stretch. Now, to make this a little more fluid, if you wanted, all you'd be doing is, let me go back down here. All you would do is add in-betweens here. This is a fast action. So with this one, if it feels a little stiff to you, you can put that on 1s. You can do this a bunch of different ways. I could put this drawing, if it would go there, right there, I can put that on 1s and make a test of it. It's going to go by real quick. But that's still a stretch. This is still very important to understand. It is a stretch drawing right there. Now, watch this. If I want to come in here and stay with the stretch method, I'm going to favor it a little bit over to the green drawing, this one. Favor it a little there. And also the cranium. It's up to you as far as you want. You can put stretch and squash in the cranium. Kind of, they did that more in the early days. They sort of keep the cranium solid, don't you think, dude?
Yeah, because it's bone.
Yeah, it's bone and
Not as pliable.
Not as exactly, not as pliable, so they keep it solid. But if you want to, you can do whatever you want.
It's an art form. You can distort it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can stretch it also if you want.
That's where the experimentation comes in handy.
Exactly.
Hey, Johansson says he's been drawing along with you in this demo, and he says it came out pretty dang convincing.
Oh, cool.
He
Good.
says he's not pro, but it's convincing. It's like, that's a good idea. You know what, you guys? If you ever want to follow along with what is going on for a demo.
Yeah, when we're doing demos, we actually advise you to do that.
Yeah. Even if you're familiar with whatever's being covered, it's good practice to do it.
Yeah.
The more times you do something, the easier it becomes.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah. It's a good idea. That's great. I'm glad to hear you doing that. Good show, as Shirkan would say.
Good show.
Good show.
That's it. See, when Rico comes over, he goes, "What do you have up in your attic up there?"
Entertaining someone in your coils, car?
Okay. So you can see I'm just putting it down quickly. Just try to feel it out.
AWAB comments, he says, the greatest thing for animating, it seems, the simple and clearer the character design. The animation tends to have more life because of the flexibility you have. Too much information tends to overcomplicate things.
I agree 1,000% on that one. You get so distracted when they overdo it.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that I've read so many times in animation books that the theory behind designing characters for being animated is to keep them really simple, because you have to do hundreds and hundreds and thousands of drawings. So if you're going to make them complicated and detailed, it kind of works against what you're trying to do with the medium.
It does. I had someone one time ask me, why do they make cartoon hands that only got 3 fingers? Like that.
Good example.
And I said, because it's a lot quicker than drawing 4.
Yeah. When you
no one really notices it that much.
Yeah, it's accepted.
Yeah. And there are certain designs, I will say that I'll be bold. Like the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy. So complicated.
You old timer.
It's so much detail. It would just take you so long to animate if you're going to do full animation with it.
Yeah.
They're very successful in not putting down. I wish Rico and I had a cartoon series that's successful. Okay, so there we go. Let me keep coloring in the nose. There we go, and there I put in one more drawing. For now, I'm gonna leave the anticipation on 2s. That means I should just go there. Means this drawing. I keep forgetting coloring in the nose, Rico.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
What's the matter with me?
What's the matter for you?
What's the matter with you? And now watch.
Ooh,
It's gonna be a little smoother.
Cool.
It's going by quick.
I likes.
It's going by quick. And there's a quick take. A very quick take. Seeing as how we're on the subject, I'm going to show you something else. The overshoot. Or you can call it follow through if you wish. Oh, let's have some fun here. I'm going to put a smear, a small smear, in between this one and that one. You can do that also. We'll have some fun here. So I'm going to put in a small smear.
A very good idea.
Thank you, Rico.
Good show.
Hope I spell it right. Did I spell it right, Rico?
Yeah, you got it right. I'm his spell checker. You know, I would have been the spelling bee champion in grade school, except this one girl beat me out, man.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I was one step away from being the champ. I blew it because I got cocky, and my word was airplane, and I left the E off at the end. Can you believe that? And I would have been the champ.
I can't even believe you were in. The idea of being in a spelling bee contest, that's like my worst nightmare.
But the lesson to learn is don't get cocky, folks. Look what happened to me. I blew it.
Okay, so now we're doing a small smear. As we did before, except this one I'm going to pull in a little bit. I'm not going to go off of the edge of the previous drawing. I'm going to bring it in slightly and see if it works.
Hey, Animatra says hello.
Dude!
Just tuned in.
Young blood.
Welcome.
And on this one, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to make it an overshoot, which means going past the point. I'm going to do it with the nose. Goes past the last drawing on this one. So you'll see me come over, past it. I'm talking about the orange drawing. I'm going to make sure you guys can see that orange drawing. Going to go past it. Muzzle goes past it. And that's known as an overshoot. What else do they call that? Is that follow through?
You know, that's a very good point to bring up, because the whole time we were learning in the 80s, all I ever heard it referred to as just go past the drawing and come back. That was the terminology that was used for the phrase. There was never a thing called an overshoot per se that I ever heard.
I didn't remember it either, really.
And then the first human being I've ever heard use that term overshoot was Eric Goldberg.
Was that Goldberg?
I don't know.
It might have been where I first heard it too. It's a great term.
Yeah, I don't know if he coined it or if somebody else did.
I thought it was like follow through. That's what I thought it was. Another way, but I don't really think of follow through as an overshoot.
No, me neither.
Going past the point. Overshoot's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I think it's a good.
And for fun, I'm going to put in this tooth right there. I don't know why. We'll see what happens.
You crazy.
Crazy.
Cray cray.
Going cray. Okay, and then with the ear, I'm not going to do an overshoot. I'm just going to do a smear of it coming in there. You can see that's not the volume. I'm smearing that.
Flat graphic.
Yeah.
God, I love smears, man.
Oh, they are fun.
I went through a whole smear phase where I was just trying to put that in everything all the time. Me
too. I was working with Tefik. I was working with him. We were doing this lesson, working on what was that, Tefik? It was a walk cycle, and we experimented, tried putting in a smear for the arms coming around like that.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. So, and we both agreed, it doesn't work as good as just putting in the stretch and the breakdown drawing right there.
Interesting.
Now, is that tooth gonna work? I think it.
Heck no.
You don't think?
No, I'm just kidding.
And then I'll put it.
Is that it right there?
Yeah.
Just that one thing?
Just that one thing. And then I'm gonna put the mouth in there. Okay, let's see what happens here. Smear. Okay. Ooh. See, and now we feel the drawing. We feel it. We can feel it going past the point, and it worked without it. It works with it. I got these drawings right there. They're all on ones. If it would move, all on ones right there.
Love it.
And if I wanted to, timing wise, it just matters what you want. I'll put the very beginning, the first drawing's on 10, second drawing is on 2, third drawing on 2, and it's just a little bit slower, if that's the type of timing. So that's what's really important also. I'll get back to talking about what the subject is, which is smears and stretches. So in this one, now what we have, I think it works better being on ones. And what? If you really want to go crazy, is text Avery. I'll put all the drawings on ones except for the first and last. And it still works. We can feel the anticipation. We can feel the overshoot with that smear. And that works too. It's just different timing. Am I missing anything, Rico?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So we got that one. Let's go back up here.
Oh, I wanted to point out one thing that you did. When you threw that anticipation drawing in there,
Yeah.
a lot of people think to do an anticipation you have to move in the opposite direction of where you're going to go, but that's not necessarily true. In this head turn, it's a matter of arcing something down and then going over. That creates the anticipation of getting over to the other position.
Yeah, that is such a good point, dude, because a lot of people, Jim Vanderkyle did this. Did you see that? A friend of ours did this scene of a picture. Did you ever see that, dude?
No.
Oh, he has it on his Instagram. And it's beautiful. And then someone had written in there, well, there's no anticipation, or you should have put anticipation. Actually, he did have an anticipation. It went forward a little bit. It went up and forward, then down into the big anticipation. And it was like anticipations come in all variations. It doesn't, and sometimes for comedy's sake, you don't need to put anticipation. Yes, it is one of the basic principles, but if I'm like this and I look at Rico just like that, there is no antic there. I just went
Just a
like
straight move.
It's just a straight move. You don't always need anticipation. It just matters what kind of effect. You just want to be aware of anticipations. And what Mike just said is true. You can have very subtle anticipations. You can have very broad anticipations. Why did I go here? I wanted to talk about... for instance, on this one. Okay, this is our classic smear. We'll just leave that on twos. There's that one. If I had wanted to, on this one, watch. There are no rules. I'll put in another smear cheat drawing. Is that cool to call it a cheat drawing?
No, it's not cool. You're not cheating. What the heck is wrong?
He's right. I'm not cheating. This is what you do.
I know what you're gonna do.
What am I gonna do?
You're gonna put another smear drawing in there, but it's gonna be. Oh no, you're not doing what I thought you were gonna do.
Ah.
You're gonna go even further.
Yes, I'm going to use that smear, but put another smear. This isn't a stretch.
It's kind of a slowing down smear.
It's an overshoot.
So it's got a multiple purpose to it.
Right.
It's accentuating the overshoot even more.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
slowing into the final pose
and
as
then
well.
it's going to pop into that final one.
Cool. Huh. Nicely done.
Oh, thank you, Rico. So, part of it is dragging. Here's the part that's dragging. The mouth, the lower half. Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts.
Now you're starting to sound like Bob Ross.
No. What was the guy's name? Prince. What was that song? Let's go crazy.
Oh yeah,
Let's
the
get
song.
nuts.
You be tripping.
Let's see. I'm going to smear that ear back there.
That's cool. There's so many different things going on in this
Yeah,
one image.
so I'm overshooting this front part. And on the rear, back here, I'll put that tooth there, and this tooth I'm going to put up there. And then back here what I'm doing is, let me stretch that neck. That's the only stretch right there. Do I know if this is going to work? No. That's what I tell you what. I hope it will. We'll find out. I haven't put hardly any time into it. No harm, no foul. Let's go crazy. Let's get nuts.
Naila says, "Hey, Wayne, that's amazing."
Hello.
And Deco D'Souza says, "Hi."
Hello.
And it's called Let's Go Crazy, by the way.
Oh, let's go crazy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the public domain. No, wait. It's that was the song name. It was part of the Purple Rain album. That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Purple Rain.
Let's get nuts.
My old girlfriend was crazy about that movie. She loved that movie when it came out.
Oh, it was huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what really put them on the map.
Yeah. It was well done. I liked it.
I haven't seen it since then, but
You freak.
so anyway, here you go, you guys. Here we got another combination of stretch and smear in there. What I'm hoping that you get out of this is that there are many ways you can do it. There's no one way to do it. It just matters what you're trying to express. Am I missing anything?
Deco D'Souza says, "Thanks, I'm Brazilian." Awesome.
Cool.
I love that it's international. That's so cool.
Me too. I went to Rio in 1978 or 9.
To surf?
Go surfing.
Oh, that's my
They got a
man.
good surf there.
AWAB says 90s was the decade I got into the party. Says the 80s decade with Purple Rain was his decade of learning, like a lot of people I know. Is this Nayla says, is this a dog or a wolf? Whatever it is, it's cute.
We're not sure. I'm not sure what it is. It's we'll call him a wolf.
Okay. And Deco D'Souza also asks, can I force more of the curve in the smear? Can it be forced more of a curved
Oh yes.
path of action?
Oh, definitely. Let me go back down to the smear. Oh, that's a small smear. Sorry, went to the wrong one.
And AWAB says, adding any jaw wobble or sober?
Yes, you can do that too. It just, I don't think I have time to do all that.
Yeah, Deco D'Souza also asks again, can I force the smear curve further? Yeah, absolutely. You can push things as far as you want and see what the effect is.
Absolutely. Let's give it a shot here.
All right. Nyla says, it's an adorable wolf. Now I'm getting jealous. You're getting all the attention.
Here, you want to draw it?
No, I don't want to draw. I'm scared. I'm scared.
Don't be scared. Let's see what happens here.
In case you've just tuned in, Rico is going to force the curve in the arc of the smear drawing even further than it was before to illustrate what kind of freedom you have with this sort of technique. Ooh, you really pushed it.
Yeah, let's see what happens here.
Oh, AWAB meant slobber, not sober. Jaw wobble and slobber.
Oh.
Yeah, spit effects and stuff like that. Totally cool. I get you.
I get you. Now I think I might have to add one more.
What are you thinking when you're drawing this? I'm just curious what the thought process is a little bit.
I'm thinking, please work.
I think that's a universal thought with all of us, right, you guys?
Yeah. You guys always remember. Man, I don't know. For me, every time, it's like, oh, I hope this works. I don't know if it's going to work.
You know what? That's actually a really good attitude, because if your attitude was, oh, this'll, I know.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. It's like, really?
Yeah. That's the other thing. A lot of times, like, I'll sit there. Rico and I both talk about it. We'll get a scene. We'll think, oh, man, this is going to be a breeze.
Right.
And then we get it. It's like, oh, my God, man, I've been on this thing for a day, and I thought it was going to take me, an hour and a half. You never know.
It's deceiving.
Yeah. And every scene is different. The approach can be the same, but as far as I'm concerned, every scene is different.
Nyla asks a question. Have you ever visited UAE? And I'm not sure what that stands for. University of Arizona Education? What is it?
That sounds good.
Okay.
I don't know. if you could tell us what that is.
Yeah, we don't know what UAE stands for. I'm so bad at abbreviations. The other day, somebody put TBH, and I said, "What's TBH?" They go, "To be honest," or "To be something."
Oh, Rico, me too, man. The abbreviations for the internet. I'm constantly asking my kid, "What is that?"
Yeah, there's all kinds of abbreviations, and they're always coming up with new ones, so how can you keep track?
Yeah.
I guess you have to Google abbreviations to find out what the latest ones are. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. You went crazy.
This is a crazy one.
But you'd never know if that works until you try it.
Nope.
AWAB makes a good point. If you're having fun with something that's not perfect, you still learn something from it because you're, got that freedom.
That's an excellent point.
Oh, Nyla says that the UAE is it's an Arab country called Emirate, Eimrate.
Oh no! I've
Do you know what? Have you heard of that before?
Yes, I've heard of it, but I've never gone to the Middle East.
Arab country, cool.
Yeah.
I'm so bad with geography that I couldn't even tell you where Altadena is. It's like, I'll meet you in Altadena this afternoon. It's like, okay, what country is that in? Altadena.
I remember, Rico, we were talking about Tuscany, and you go, oh. I'm not as good as I used to be either. The only places I've traveled to, I went to South Africa once, again to go surfing.
Hey, Catherine Hidalgo Polvani says,
Who's that?
United Arab Emirates.
Right.
Is what it is, UAE. Thank you.
Very good. Well, to hire her.
Yeah, she's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kathleen.
But don't let her think she is.
Oh, you're terrible.
Okay, let's see what happens here, you guys.
You guys are great with these comments. Go ahead.
Let's see what happens. Okay, there's a super stretch drawing. I mean, smear. Man, I hate it when I do that. I'm trying to teach and super smear. Let's call this
Super smear.
super smear.
Dun, 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 dun.
So brought it way down, the path of action. Brought everything way down. Does it work? I think so. Still works. What?
Nothing.
Does it work?
Yeah, it does. I was just laughing at the comments.
Well, I need you to back me up if it works or not.
Well, let me take a look. Let me see. Yeah, it works.
Okay.
I like the multiple eyes in there. That's another good example of those multiple image things. You can not only do it with appendages, but with actual facial features as well, like he just did.
Yeah.
That's totally cool.
I think what I would do on that one, I would, I'd sit here because I'm Gunstaff. I would put a little break in that nose.
When Rico says he's Goopstuff, that's our secret code for he's super OCD and something's bothering him. He has to go back in and fix it.
Yeah.
What a big waste of time. No, I'm kidding you.
Sometimes it is a waste. Sometimes it was better before and I blew it.
Oh man, yeah, that's life.
Yeah.
I got to read these comments; they're too funny.
Okay.
Okay, so Kathleen said she spelled it wrong. Instead of emeritis, it's emeritis. And she says, "Don't." And AWAB says, "I really don't like texting, but that is the world we live in. In the tech, they and the internet generation seems only to speak in acronyms and emoticons."
Oh, I tell people when my kids do it and they give me some abbreviation, I call them up on the phone. They just
Good. See, that'll train them to explain everything that they. And then they're going back and forth here about how it's spelled and all that stuff. So everybody's correcting each other, and you have to add the old school Action Comics Superman theme song in when you say super smear. And Dave Nethery says it's okay to clean up.
It's okay to clean up.
That means it's ready to go to the next stage.
Oh, I'm not cleaning this up, Dave.
Hey, what do you think this is?
I haven't done cleanup in
God
in years. Actually, we did one video on cleanup, but even that wasn't even that clean.
I got a story about that in a second.
Hey, Dave, my hand shakes now.
Oh,
so
no.
I really can't. I got to put on that. What's that?
Charles Schultz cleanup.
No, there's the what's that called?
Where line corrects you. It averages your line. Yeah.
I don't
snaps it.
Yeah, I use it in Sketchbook. I'll use it when I'm doing tight drawings. But
Nyla says, "Okay, now I want to visit America."
Uh,
And Kathleen says, "Hey now, OCD sufferers unite." And Dave Nether says, "Get busy." You guys are cracking me up.
Has anybody got any questions as far as understanding what I tried to explain?
Deco D'Souza asks, "You said that some directors don't like smears, even in cartoon styles?"
No, I didn't mean some directors would rather have the what do you call that? What we did?
Multiple image stuff?
Yeah, multiple images. They rather have a trail of it instead of a smear, like we did in Mighty B.
Yeah, we did all kinds of stuff in that. We did all those different techniques. It was a free for all. Whatever went from the scene basically is what they wanted to put in there.
But he was mostly was into if a ball was coming across like so, he was just mostly into multiple images,
which is action lines basically, like was mentioned before in the comic.
Yeah, if the ball was going cross screen like this, and it would get less and less, and you would just have these multiple images of the last half of the ball, and then you would maybe tame down that line.
It trails away.
As you
get further. Yeah.
There's that approach, and you can use that approach. Let me see. Here, I'll do that. I'll use that multiple image approach within the nose.
So you can combine it in a smear.
Yeah, you can combine it also within the smear.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then as it gets closer, it's going to...
I like the way you're using the eraser feature to isolate those things rather than lines.
Thank you. Yeah, it works good.
Nyla says, "You have to draw some Catscratch characters because I miss them."
I don't know if I can do that without copyright issues.
Oh yeah,
I would do it. I don't know. Judy might get mad at me if I did that.
Yeah, we can't be drawing like Donald Duck and stuff, or we'll get in trouble, I think.
Yeah, and the last thing I want is Judy mad at me. I don't know why it would be.
Why what?
If I did draw some Catscratch characters, would that be copyright?
I guess if you're making a profit off of it, it would be an
Yeah.
issue. But if you're just doing it educational purposes, I don't think it's.
You know what?
Deal.
If we hadn't gone, I could have. Mike's right. I could have done it if I wasn't getting paid for the advertisement of this. That is kind of weird looking. I don't like what I did there.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
I don't know, dude. That sucks.
I love it. He's experimenting. And he fails. No. That's how you learn, is by doing stuff. And if it doesn't work, hey, so what? Just
Let's see what happens.
keep going.
Nah, pretty funky. Don't like the way that works.
Yeah, somehow it doesn't.
It doesn't work.
And sometimes, what's funny is this is awesome. I love this about animation. Sometimes when you do something and it doesn't work, there is not an explanation for why it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like in Richard Williams, there was in a documentary, he talks about how that witch in the basket,
Yeah.
he did something on twos. And he said it looked better on twos than ones, but he couldn't explain why.
Right, that's right.
Yeah, and I think that's cool, It's
Yeah.
like you don't always have an explanation. But
Oh, and the happy accident.
oh God.
You're going to find that a lot in animation. You'll put down something, and if you didn't purposely put it down, and as you're rolling your drawings, you suddenly like, whoa, that's nice. That works. And you have no idea. You didn't mean to do it, but if it works, it works.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you know who GHAP4A is with a wrench? He says, he's laughing. He says, guys, I am listening. Whatever it is, I won't get mad at you. Come on, say it. What's that?
Yeah, I think I know who she is. That woman I'm terrified of.
Oh.
You remember? What's her name?
Oh, Judy.
Judy.
As Cary Grant would say.
Yes. We should ask, do many people out there know who Cary Grant is?
Yeah.
I don't think so, Rico.
Or was?
We are old.
Oh, come on. All you gray hairs drive me crazy.
Especially you. You are so old.
Oh. Oh, hey, let me tell you one good thing about being old. You can walk into Denny's and get a discount on their menu. I'll never forget the first time I was like, I'll take something off the discount menu. I've been waiting years for this. And they were looking at me like, you're a freak, man. You're weird.
And you got it. Here's a bit more of a multiple image.
Now, I got to say something about this drawing you just did, this multiple image thing.
Uh-huh. It sucks.
No. Can you imagine buying a cell from a cartoon production that is a drawing like that, having a cell that's a crazy smear or multiple image thing like that? Would be really, really cool.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be cool. Those people were so talented who did those cells with the dry brush.
Oh,
on
yeah.
cells.
Yeah, that was a
I couldn't imagine doing
technique. That's not easy.
it. Okay. Should I clean it up? Nah. All right. So, how's that? Judy. Judy wrote Judy. I do. Here, you read. I can't read it.
It says here, AWAB says he's got gray hairs, but he likes to earn them slowly. He says, when happy accidents work, it is genius, but when it is not, it is learning. Good point.
That's good.
Yeah, anything's learning, whether you succeed or not.
AWAB. You want a job? You should have him teach.
He says he or she, I don't know. He's an older person, which...
I know we've communicated. I apologize. I'm the oldest one in the room. Trust me. I can't remember anything.
Now I'm getting confused. They're talking back and forth. I don't know what they're talking.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right. So,
You lost me. Catherine's in there. Dave's in there. I wonder if there's like some chatting going on between the participants, but we can't see it because it looks like they're having some kind of conversation.
Oh, they do talk amongst each
Oh,
other.
okay, so it's like...
people know each other.
Oh, okay, so it's
Yeah.
isolated conversation.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. We'd have to ask Judy.
Cary Grant, hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Where was he from? Was he English?
I don't think so.
What was that accent? He did have a very...
AWAB says, yeah, I'm only 52. Oh, you're a youngin'.
Oh, man.
Baby.
He's a bambino.
Bambino. A little babushka. Are you OCDing on me again? What are you doing over there?
I'm just trying to... okay. Well, I think if there's not any more questions, dude. Any questions, anybody?
Yeah, if anybody's got any questions about this, we'll be more than happy to answer. Like, where'd you get that glove?
Oh, this?
Yeah, I'm asking that one.
Oh, just off the internet. I don't know what company it is.
Oh, Nethery says that, yeah, Cary Grant was born in England. I didn't know that.
Thank you, David. Thank you for backing me up. Didn't I tell you already?
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah.
If I wasn't listening to you, I never listen to you.
He doesn't. He ignores me.
And rightly so.
He's got a point there. He does have a point there. I can't even believe he hangs out with me.
Oh.
Nobody likes me anymore except for you, Rico. Rico, you brought your brush.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I got a show and tell thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let me show you guys this. Check it out. I'll be right back. I got it
Okay.
over here.
Here, we're going to give you the main seat.
Oh, okay.
This is a better camera.
All right. So today's show and tell is a book, an animation book that is long out of print. It came out in the 70s, and it's called Animation in 12 Hard Lessons by Bob Heath. And it's loaded with all kinds of illustrations. I don't know if you guys can see this very well.
Perfect.
This book was given to me by my grandfather when I was a teenager, young teenager, and everything just went over my head. Everything.
I had that book too, and I got to about less than
halfway.
I think I only got to like lesson 5, and I couldn't understand after that.
Yeah, it starts out really simple, and it's very easy to follow. For instance, like this is the first lesson, I believe, is the first one where you just do a simple in between of
there you go.
Of this stick figure character. So there's no real draftsmanship involved in it. You just kind of go from one pose to another. Very simple. It even gives you like an answer page here on the following page. It shows you. See, it gives you an idea of what the in between looks like.
Exactly. There you go. Right there. Very good.
Yeah. See that? It gives you a little example if you're
Pull it in a little bit closer.
if you're completely
there you go.
at a loss of what to do. It gives you that example.
Yeah.
And it gets really tough really fast from there on. But that's a good start, you know. Then it goes into a character that you actually have to draw.
Now that's out of print, isn't it?
Oh yeah, this is came out in the 70s. I think 71 or something.
I think Tevik was asking. Yeah,
And
that one's out of print.
yeah, it talks about arcs and stuff, and then it shows you. There's a little illustration here of how to flip. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you
It
go.
shows you the configuration of how you hold the papers when you check them. And it just goes on and on from there. You know, the characters get more and more ambitious, like this one here.
Naila said, "I really need this book so bad." They don't make it anymore unless you can find it.
You have to look at like it's. It came out in 1972 was the first printing.
Oh, they've had reprints since?
Well, yeah, in 73 and 74.
Oh, 73, 4.
So it's an old book.
Yeah.
But you can find it in used book websites. You know, like Dave Nethery was suggesting Abe Books earlier in the chat, and there's another one called Alabris.
Oh,
Or
okay.
Alabri, I don't know how it's pronounced.
And then they ask, the book is called Animation Lessons.
In 12 Hard Lessons.
Oh, what is it again? Say it out loud.
Animation in 12 Hard Lessons.
Yeah.
Animation in 12 Hard Lessons.
Yeah.
The print, the font is really weird.
It is.
But it's a huge book. You can see how big it is to my hand here. It's like...
They kind of went with that psychedelic 60s.
It's a large format, and it's spiral bound, so you can remove the pages if you want to, and put them on your animation disc. The reason why they made it a large format is because they have a page in here. I'll look for it, where they show you a field chart that you can actually use.
Is it on... It is on Amazon for $49.
Ooh, that's cheap. Usually it's over $100.
Joe
now.
just said that. Okay.
Cool. Yeah, here's like a field guide. You know, they have to print it kind of large so you can see.
You know what we ought to do?
What?
Xerox a bunch and then sell them as one-on-one animation. Just kidding.
Always.
Just played, you guys.
Always got an angle. It's great. It's a great book. It's like, I don't know how many hundreds of pages. It's 141 pages, and there's over 850 illustrations in here, it says.
God, is there?
I'm
Really?
doing a commercial for this. Yeah, $49, man. If you can find it for that price, grab it. That's cheap.
They should make a reprint of it.
They should, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know who owns the rights and all that stuff. It's so old, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
What
the
is
show
the
and tell.
book? Show and tell.
And
PDF
I've done
online.
a lot of lessons in that book already, and it's good practice. I have to admit, good practice. It's fun.
And I also recommend, don't forget that Eric Goldberg book.
Oh, yep.
And Richard Williams, that one's very thick. I can understand if you're intimidated by it.
Very thorough. Just taking a step at a time.
Yeah.
Same thing with Preston Blair.
Yeah. Can you give me my coffee there, too?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you, Rico. No, it's just straight coffee.
You gotta check them. Any other questions, comments, or anything?
It looks like they're looking for it on Amazon.
Okay.
Keep looking. Is my advice.
Who found it for $49? Who was that?
Who was that? It was Joe R. Joe.
wow.
I'm getting to know Joe.
Quick search.
Yeah, it was a quick search. I had the animation book and didn't use it. Oh, Naila? Is
Yeah,
that how you,
Naila.
she says, I had the animation book and I didn't use it. That's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
They got, those other two books. There's a lot of books. If you can get that one, very cool. It keeps it a little simpler than the other books.
Yeah, it doesn't explain too much.
Yeah.
You kind of have to know a little bit before you dig into that one,
Yeah.
because it doesn't explain things in great detail.
Uh,
But yeah, the Richard Williams book, the Eric Goldberg book, Preston Blair book, those are the top three in my opinion. And Tony White has an animation book too. I can't remember what I think it's just called Animation.
I think
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think so.
Yeah, there was a reissue of that Tom Cito did a forward in, I believe.
Yeah, I think I have.
Oh, and then there's the John Hallis, the Whitaker book.
Oh,
Timing for Animation.
for
That's
timing
another
for
good one.
animation. That is a good one.
Definitely check that out.
I think I got that up here. I can show it to him. Oh.
Yeah, but if you guys have those books, definitely use them. They're a gold mine.
Timing for animation. That is a really good book.
Yeah. I remember doing a lot of the exercises in there
Yeah.
and just looking at it for exposure to different principles.
Because he explains stagger timing, slowing in, slowing out.
There's some effects.
Yeah, all the different ones. And
Yeah, Preston Blair's book is called Cartoon Animation. That's another good
you
one.
keep me entertained.
Oh, I'll do a soft shoe, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to show you the back of this book. It's really interesting too, because the authors did like caricatures of themselves here on the back of the 12 Hard Lessons book. Oh, I know. Dave Nethery mentioned to me that instead of buying the animation for 12 hard lessons, you can get a free PDF of that entire book online. In fact, let me see what the link is here. He texted it to me. It is yeah, you can get it an entire PDF, and here's the link. It's https://tinyurl.com/Heath animation book, and the Heath and the animation and book are all capital letters, so it's capital H, capital A, capital B, Heath animation book, and that's one PDF file, so you can get the entire book for free online at that source. Also, he says it's Michael Sporn, who passed away. He was a really good animation director and animator. He has a blog, so it's called Michael Sporn's blog. You're just looking for that, and he has scans of the entire book on his blog as well. So you can find it there. Yeah, that's all I have. So you can get it. You don't have to spend over $100 or even $49. You can still get it because it's long out of print.
And here is the book timing for animation. I bought this back in the 80s, but this is still in print, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's been re-released.
Okay.
Because Cito did a new forward in it or something.
Okay, so check out this book.
It's a good one.
What? I thought it was John Hollis and I didn't know there were two contributors, Harold Whitaker and John Hollis. Anyway, this is a good one, you guys. Good one to keep in your library. Whenever you get stuck on some particular type of, timing issue, and it's got a little more than just timing. It just talks about arcs and the way things work. So that's a good one too.
Yeah, Joe R says, excuse me, Joe R says, I could add with any books, especially Richard Williams, draw loose like what Wayne is doing or showing, and often you feel you have to draw Richard's perfect line, but go for life clean drawing. That can come later. Yeah, he's basically saying, Richard doesn't really show a lot of roughs in his book, but
he doesn't. That there are two things I will be critical about in Williams' book is the cleanness. The guy could draw. He was a great draftsman. You don't have to draw that clean. You don't have to work pose to pose. Sections you can work, whatever works for you. The other thing is the ones and twos. He had he believed that life is on ones, so everything should be on ones. Most animators don't believe that. If you're doing a real slow movement of the hands just cushioning in like that, to me, twos is all you need. Fast actions, yes, put it on ones if you want it more fluid. The only other thing was his top pegs. If you're animating and look, I'm not one to argue with Richard Williams. The guy was a genius. But if you're animating, it's a lot easier to roll the drawings if they're bottom pegged. And I would say 99% of animators work bottom pegged, don't you think?
yeah, it's what I've seen mostly.
Okay.
He's an exception. Whenever I see people animating on top pegs, it's always an exception to the general consensus of what people.
And if it works for him, man, I'm not putting it down. I'm just saying. Let me see. This book I think is great. Okay, I could add this book.
What was I going to say about Richard Williams? Any comments? Oh. You mentioned something. Oh, I know. When you said that he said that life is on ones, so you should put everything on ones. I totally understand what he's talking about. I get it. But to me, from what I've gathered from, doing as much research as we have, the best that I've ever seen, in my personal opinion, is a combination of ones and twos. If you can deftly move in and out of ones and twos in such a fashion that you get a nice texture with the timing, that to me is the ultimate, because it's a caricature of life's movement, and that's what this is all about. It's not trying to emulate life exactly. If you want that, you're going to have to do rotoscoping. That's exactly what life is, and that's on ones.
Yeah,
generally.
Yeah, and the question there is, then why do animation? Because
right.
You might as well just film. I agree with Rico completely. It's the combination of it. I even seen Disney animation where I would see them on threes.
Oh yeah.
They would, and they used it. So it's just fast. As a basic rule, fast actions, ones.
Slow ins, twos.
Yeah,
slow
in twos.
Slow outs.
Some of their films, they went great for a while there. Everything was on ones, because they discovered it, but then they changed it up. You look at...
I'll also admit, it's fun to look at when you watch stuff on ones. It's fun to look at ones. I totally agree.
Here's a question for you, dude.
Yeah.
What was the Chuck Jones studio like?
It was a lot of fun because there were a lot of nice people there, and Linda Jones, his daughter, was the producer, and she was awesome. In fact, there's a quick story about she came back from lunch one day, and she walked around to everyone's desk and gave them each $1. And she said, "Oh, here, I went to the bank at lunchtime and they were giving out free samples." And we're like, "Hey, free money." It was so cool, even though it was just $1. It was like, I just got a free buck. Cool. It was such a great feeling to have your boss just give you money, cash like that. It was just a neat little gesture that she did. I thought that was really sweet of her to do that. It was fun.
And what was Chuck like?
He was really cool. He would come in. He wouldn't be there every single day like she was. He would come in maybe 2-3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week. He would usually come in when he was directing someone to do voiceovers. Like we'd see Frank Gorshin would come in, and Stan Freberg used to hang out there a lot. He was always going up and down the hallways doing voices that he used to do for the cartoons, which was really fun.
Frank who?
Stan Freberg.
No, before him?
Frank Gorshin. He was the Riddler on Batman.
That was the Riddler,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. He walked right by my door with his coffee mug. I'm like, that's the Riddler. That kind of stuff happened all the time.
Oh, he was great. I loved him in Batman.
Oh, me too. He was great.
What voice did he do in the cartoon?
I don't know. They hired him to do some voice work.
Oh.
Because he actually did a lot of good imitations. He was an impersonator. He did a lot of...
Right, I remember that.
Good Kirk Douglas, amongst other things. Also, Debbie... I'm going blank again.
Reynolds?
Yeah, thank you. Debbie Reynolds came by, and she was in the conference room, just talking to us guys, just chatting. And she was really entertaining. There's all kinds of celebrities that would come through. Margaret O'Brien came by. She was dating one of the storyboard artists, I believe. He was like waiting around, and we were just hanging out, and Margaret O'Brien walks in. You're like, this is a trip, man.
Here, Joseph is saying, how did Chuck recruit you?
That's a good question. I don't remember how I found out about it, but somebody told me there was some freelance I could pick up on one of his cartoons he was doing in the 90s. It was a Roadrunner cartoon. He hadn't done one since like the 60s or something. So I was like, yeah, cool, sounds great. So I picked up the freelance, brought it home, animated it, and then I didn't have a pencil test system because I couldn't afford it, so I just flipped the drawings, and I go, yeah, it looks like it works, and I followed his X sheet direction, and I thought, it looks pretty good. So I turned it in and hoped for the best, because I wasn't able to shoot it. And then they called me back a few days later and said, hey, Chuck really likes your pencil test. We'd like to hire you on staff. When can you start? And I was like, now. It's fine with me. And Chuck Jones liked my scene. Thank you. Wow, I was so flattered, So that's how I got the job there, was by handing in this pencil test of this sequence.
How many of you were working on that?
At first, there was only about maybe 5 or 6 of us, and then they hired more people from Sheridan College up in Canada. Okay. They hired a group of people there. They went up and did a talent scout, and then they went to Cal Arts as well and hired a group of guys from Cal Arts as well. So we had even more people come on later. And I made a lot of great friendships during that time. I mean, I met these guys from Canada that were still friends, and the guys from Cowlitz were still friends. It was really awesome working there. Oh, and we used to have these fights every afternoon. We had these little pistols that shot little discs, like you'd shoot them, click them, and they'd fly like flying saucers, and we would blast each other and run around the place and shoot each other with these guns. That was a lot of fun too. And then there were discs everywhere all over the floor. We had to go around and clean them up afterwards, but it was worth it. And we had life drawing classes in there. It was great, man. It was a lot of fun. A fun studio to work at. We got to do some nice cartoons.
AWAB says there has not been an greater version of the Riddler since Frank. I agree.
Oh, totally agree.
I thought he was the best
Yeah.
Riddler by far.
Absolutely. He's
The way he'd jump around.
hands down. He was like a pantomimist and a dancer, and he just was a great.
Yeah, he moved great.
Yeah, you could see all his dance training in there when he would do his movements. And that crazy laugh he did. Awesome. But yeah, Chuck Jones Film Productions was a lot of fun. It's funny, that area, because we were right next to Warner Brothers Studios at the time, and we would take lunch, we'd go on the lot. We had permission to go on the Warner Brothers lot to have lunch in their commissary. And of course, that's loaded with celebrities in there. You see all of the celebrities of the day. Like one time at lunch, I got the tray and I was going to go sit down, and I saw the whole cast of Friends hanging out, sitting. They would always sit in the same place in the commissary.
From the TV show?
From the TV show, yeah.
Oh.
And they were just having such a great time, man. You didn't want to bother them because they were just kind of their own little clique, you know?
Who, the Friends people?
Yeah.
Oh, really? They
Yeah.
seem to get along with you all?
Oh, they were. It was just like on the show. It was the same.
I guess getting paid like $1 million an episode.
That helps, yeah. Helps keep you happy.
It was a funny show. It
was.
It was a funny show.
It's one of my wife's all-time favorite shows.
Yeah, no.
And it's brilliant. The writing is
It
awesome.
was cute.
Anyway, yeah, it was really fun working there. Got to see a lot of things I wouldn't have got to see before. I mean, you sit there in the commissary, you turn around, and there's Gene Wilder sitting next to you. It was surreal.
Hmm.
It was trippy, yeah. Got to see all kinds of people, man. I could go on and on, but I don't want to bore anybody.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see, anything else? Any production problems while at Chuck Jones Studio?
Production problems. Not that I recall. It went pretty smoothly.
Yeah, he would have everything mapped out on the X sheet, right?
Oh yeah, he filled out the X sheets. That was
Yeah.
part of his directorial duties. Was he would fill out the timing on the timing column for the X sheets, so you had a really good idea of, how you wanted to space things.
And that
out.
had to make things go a lot smoother.
Oh yeah, that's a dream for any animators to have that.
Yeah,
that
you got it
reference.
sort of done for you.
Right, you just have to work on the performance and check the storyboards and
Yeah.
the layouts and whatnot. It was a blast. I had a lot of fun in that. In fact, that's the only studio that I ever worked at when I was animating a scene of the coyote, where he's doing this like seesaw thing, and he flies up and hits his head on this board in midair, and these sparks, these like stars come out because he gets hit so hard. And I laughed out loud while I was drawing it, while I was animating. It was that funny to me. It was like what I was having him do cracked me up. It was just really. That's the only time that's ever happened.
I've never had that happen.
Yeah, see, that's the only time for me that it cracked me up.
I'm always stressed out.
It was a good experience overall, I have to say. Met a lot of nice people. We're still friends, so.
All right, dude. I think questions are far and few now.
All right.
I think we're gonna say goodbye. Thank you, everybody, very much for tuning in. I hope the demo was. What's Rico doing over there? I hope the demo was. You got something out of that and the conversation. And what else? Let's see. Anything?
See you next time.
No, should we? Anything? What are you doing? You got anything to promote?
No.
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 Me neither.
Nothing to sell, nothing to promote. Just giving away free advice for everybody because we love the art form and we hope that we're helping people out. So that's about it, really.
Thank you very much.
Like-minded.
And we will. What? Something
came
else?
Up. I think something came up.
But the studio, there's probably the animation sheet. But now in the studio, there's probably no animation sheets. I mean, like the timing charts because of the software. You know, it's, I don't know.
Let's read that out loud so everybody can hear it.
Oh, I didn't do that. Okay, but now in studios, this is from Johansson.
Okay.
But now in the studio, there's probably no animation sheets. Question mark.
Right, X sheets.
I mean, like timing charts and timing chart animation because of the software. Is that the way it is now? Because the freelance I get, if I get any freelance, I still get an X sheet. But I do kind of wonder, why do I get the X sheet? Because you can do it all here.
Right.
And I think it just must be, I don't know why.
It might be they want to give you the option, because there's a lot of people that it's personal preference. They still prefer to draw or write things out on an X sheet, so they just give it to you as an option, I guess. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Why do you need an X sheet nowadays? Because all the timelines and all the apps, that's your X sheet now.
Yeah, it's all there, but maybe it's so when back at the studio when you send it back to them, it's it's a blueprint for all the different departments. Let's see, Jar. Thanks, you're welcome. Johansson, thank you so much. This was great.
Cool.
Thanks.
AWAB,
thanks for the stream. It was fun and informative. You're welcome. Thank you.
Awesome.
And Johansson, you guys are fun.
Oh, well, we try to keep it fun because nowadays the studios aren't necessarily so much fun to work in anymore. They used to be a lot of fun back in the day, but corporate stuff happens
and plus we could use a little more fun these days.
Yeah, exactly, right? This whole country can use some more fun. So I'm
the
glad
whole
to hear
world.
it was fun. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it was fun for you guys. Cool.
All right, you guys. Again, thank you much for tuning in, and we're going to hand me that mouse.
Sure.
There we go. And I gotta check in with the boss, Judy, make sure I did this correct. Bye-bye. See you later, Tefik.
Adios.
Talk to you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye, you guys.
Have fun, you guys.
It was great.